Kent Spitfires will play Warwickshire at Edgbaston under lights next Thursday in the Royal London One Day Cup after they defeated Gloucestershire by 24 runs in an excellent quarter-final in Canterbury, where 50s for Sam Northeast, Sam Billings and Fabian Cowdery proved too much for the visitors in spite of David Payne's 5 for 44. Rob Key, playing in just his second 50-over match of the summer, batted after winning the toss, but a shot which has brought him plenty of runs this season also brought about his early downfall here. Payne grabbed that wicket in his third over and he had his second next ball as he trapped Ben Harmison in front for a golden duck to leave the Spitfires on 11 for 2. The pitch did not appear to be one to help a batsman to play his shots, but Cowdery was soon putting bat to ball to very good effect, as he and Northeast managed to get the total to 35 for 2 at the end of what had been a fairly tough power play for the home team. Those early wickets had meant that both batsmen had to play within themselves, protecting their wickets while ensuring that they rarely missed out on anything hittable. By the time the halfway stage of the innings arrived, they'd carried the score to 95 for 2 with both in the 40s and looking good. Northeast reached his half-century off a patient 84 balls from which he'd found the boundary 6 times, his 6th one taking him to his mark in what has been a very good competition for the 24-year-old. It was his third score of 50 or more thus far. For Cowdery, it was his second 50 and he'd taken 66 deliveries to get there, finding the boundary 5 times in doing so. Shortly after that, this pair took their partnership into 3 figures and the Spitfires were looking good, starting to put themselves in control of this contest. But then Cowdery tried to turn Will Gidman to leg and got a leading edge to Alex Gidman in the covers. The batsman was on his way for 51. Darren Stevens was likely to be a threat, but was held in the deep by Ian Cobain for 12 with a total on 133 for 4 into the 35th over. So perhaps the crucial innings of the day was the one supplied by Billings, who's made a real name for himself in this tournament. His man-of-the-match effort really got going with a 6 off Chris Dent, while he followed up in the same over with another. Indeed, he struck 3 maximums in the space of just 9 balls in a couple of overs to give his side a chance of posting a challenging total on what was a stodgy surface. Billings' 50 arrived off only 30 balls. That was his 6th 4 to go along with his 3 sixes, and the way he was going, it looked as if he could take his side well beyond anything Gloucestershire would want to chase. The total now into the 200s in the 43rd over. In the same one, Northeast knock was ended on 78, a swing and a miss at this ball from Craig Miles, finishing off a fine partnership of 82, which was made in only 8.5 overs. Gloucestershire then fought back brilliantly to take the last 6 wickets for 27 runs in 6 overs. Miles got shot of Billings with an LBW as the keeper was out for a 36-ball 61. Next over, and Benny Howell won an LBW appeal to see the back of Alex Blake for 4. Payne then removed Adam Ball in the same way as the left armer came back on at the death with good success. Miles, meanwhile, ended with figures of 3 for 48 after he bowled Mitch Claydon for 8, before Payne finished off the innings in a flash by having Adam Riley held by Alex Gidman at extra cover. The bowler took 5 for 44, his second list day 5-wicket haul, as Kent were all out for 242 in the penultimate over. The pitch was never going to get better for batting on, and so Gloucestershire had to make the most of the power play overs at the start of their innings, and that's just what Dent did, striking Claydon for a pair of 6s in overs numbers 5 and 7, as he and his opening partner Will Taveray, back at the ground where his uncle made a name for himself, got going with a stand of 46 in 8 overs. It was ended as Taveray fell for 19 to be quickly followed back to the shed by the dangerous Dent, who, having raced to 40 at better than a run a ball, was legged before to Cowdery's 4th delivery. The bowler's 6th, though, was powered over cow corner by Gareth Roderick, the visitors making 81 for 2 from their first 15 overs. Gloucestershire were set back, though, by losing too many wickets. Cobain was bowled by a ball from Stevens that was not only quicker but also stayed low. before Hamish Marshall fell for a golden duck, with the leading edge offering Riley the easiest of return catches. The total had just moved past 100 in the 22nd over when Alex Gidman drilled a ball from Cowdrey straight to Stevens, having made 4, and it was 125 for 6 in over number 29 as Roderick, who'd made a pleasing 43, got too much under a shot off Harmison and holed out to Stevens. So now Kent were on top again, only for the Gloucesters to come fighting back once more as Will Gidman and Howell added 53 runs in 10 overs for the 7th wicket. David Griffiths, in his first Royal London One Day Cup outing, then produced a perfect Yorker to crucially send Gidman packing for 39, leaving the visitors to get 64 off the last 10 overs with just 3 wickets in hand. But with the pocket dynamo Jack Taylor at the crease with the ability to hit the ball a long way, as he did here off Riley, this thrilling battle was still in the balance. But when Taylor edged the ball which just held up from Harmison to Billings behind, it was the Spitfires who looked to be the most likely winners. It was left largely to Howell to get his side over the winning line, but with 26 needed off 20 balls, he was bowled by Claydon for a well-paced 33. Griffiths then concluded the contest in the next over, the 48th, as he yorked last man Payne for a duck to send the Spitfires and their supporters into raptures, as it was they and not their hard-working opponents who stay on the road to Lords with a trip now to Edgbaston to meet Warwickshire next Thursday in a day-night game in the country's second city. Their margin of success in Canterbury was 24 runs, Gloucestershire dismissed for 218, with none of their batsmen able to make what would have been a game-changing half-century. Harmison was the pick of the home attack with 3 for 40, and Kent will not be overawed by now taking on a team which is still in with a shout of an unbelievable treble this summer.